Hey guys, welcome to another Coach Dave Academy lap guide from me, James Armstrong from Brabham Esports. Today we'll be going over week 2 of the Porsche Cup Fix series around Mount Panorama. Without further ado, let's get into it.
You just hit the.
So to start off with the lap, to get a good run down the main straight, nice and wide on the entry at the last corner, turn in on power early and down the main straight, keeping the car to the right. Here we're going to be braking just after the 100 meter board. So as you see, we've just gone past the board and now we're on the brakes. Quite hard on the brakes, all the way down to second gear, turning it in. You can clip this curb and run third gear or drop it down to second and get a really good exit. It's up to you really. This lap I just got a really good exit in second. Running the car all over the curb, don't get stuck in. If you go on the grass, you will get stuck in the grass and then hit this wall that sticks out there. Down the corner straight, just keep the car to the left. Another corner straight, yeah. Coming into turn 2, we're braking just after the 100 meter board, just past it. To the left, keeping the car to the left. Trail braking all the way in until you see sort of how the curb sort of has this one curb straight, another curb. That's when you want to bring the throttle in, quite aggressive, and you want to keep the car on this white line. If you touch this curb, you'll just get a bit of understeer. But the car just hooks up really nicely on the white line. Bring the car all the way out. If you got to be careful using this curb, it can bottom out, but you can run it all the way at the wall. Just that the rear gets a little slidey as it bottoms out on the curb. Bringing the car back over to the right. Here we're going to be braking as we're turning in. Pretty much when we're pointing for this inside wall, we're going to be braking gently as the rear likes to lock up. Bring the car back out wide, down in second, and this corner you want to hook it up. You want to be probably closer to the wall than this. The closer you're at the wall, the better it is, the better traction you get on the exit. And as you can see, we're on throttle quite early, just balancing it though, all the way through the corner. And then full throttle once we get straight. There's very little traction, so you're going to be very careful with that. This little bump after the first lap should be fine. Just be careful on the first lap as the traction is quite low and you can get a bit of wheel spin. This corner, not quite flat. I did try it flat, but it was like 50-50 chance whether I got through the corner. As you can see, just a little lift. You can touch the inside curb a tiny bit. It's probably ideal to avoid it though, as it bounces the car as you see. As close as you can to this left-hand wall. just a tiny lift, like 90% through the corner. This one, a big lift. Bringing it all the way out to this outside wall. Be careful that when you go through this compression, that the car doesn't get sucked into the wall. That can happen. And also the car likes to get a bit loose when you're coming back up out of this compression. And you can see there my steering. I sort of turned in, but then I felt the back end going, so you just got to be careful for that. Avoid this massive inside curve, otherwise you'll be bouncing off into the outside wall. It's sort of a difficult one, really. You got to. I have 50% lifted there, and then I realised that the car was sliding a bit, lifted a bit more, but then back full power on this outside curb, close as you can to the wall, keeping the car against the wall pretty much for this next left-hander. We'll be lifting just before we come over the curb. Not a full lift, down 20%. Just hold it there, and bring the throttle back in as you come through the corner. You can hit the curb and go over the curb. That's fine. This curb is quite flat. Or you can avoid it like I did. Running over the outside curb here as well. Yeah, this curb's fine. It's not slippery. You can use all that to help. Coming at Skyline, we're going to be braking sort of as we're coming up onto the crest. We're going to be braking, or as this building disappears off to our right. This one's a very difficult one for braking. Front legs lock, then the rear, then the front. You just got to really modulate the brake pedal coming down as close as we can to this right-hand wall. Braking. Once you're straight here, increase the pressure. As you see, we're coming quite low, then up, then down again as we bounce off the curb to not look up. Back on the brakes a bit harder as we straighten up, and coming off them again for the right-hander here. Here you want to be on this curb all the way around, and then flick it into the left at the dipper. This one, it looks like you're going to hit the wall, but you're not. You just got to turn in and just hope that you don't hit the wall. As you can see, like here, I'm like, oh, I'm going to hit the wall, but as the road dips away, you lose some of that steering, so you end up avoiding it. As close as you can to that wall. You can be really aggressive on power here. There's a big compression, lots of grip. And yeah, you'll run out to that wall. It's coming into forest elbow then. Braking as we flick it into the right. Gentle, as it's easy to lock up the front tyres here. Bringing it over to this right-hand side wall, as you can see, gently on the brakes. Keeping it on this white line. Bit harder on the brakes when we straighten out the car. Turning in, we're going to be aiming for this part of the wall here. This part sticks out a little bit. Once we get to it, really heavy on the throttle, lots of grip. As you can see there. As soon as we get to this bit, full power, bring it out wide to the exit. Down the cone rod, keeping it to the left. We're going to be using this extra tarmac here on turn-in. And braking at the 150 meter board, or just before it. Really heavy on the brakes. Hit 100% for a little bit. There's lots of grip here, uphill. So plenty of grip. We can brake really hard. Down the gears, down a second as we turn in. Helps a bit of rotation. Avoiding this inside curb, it's really big and it bounces the car and you get bad traction. On power quite aggressively here as well. Lots of grip. Running it over this curb here, but not into the grass. Running along this exit curb here as well. Coming into the last corner here, we're going to be braking at the 100 meter board. Quite heavy. We can go up to like 95%, 90% here coming into the last corner. Braking down the gears, down to second gear. Using this, the road car pans out to the right a little bit here. We can use a little bit of that. Turning in, trail braking all the way in. Avoiding this curb. This curb's really big and bounces the car, spins the car. So you want to avoid the curb. On power, really aggressively here. Lots of grip as well. Running over this exit curb. You can go into the grass a tiny bit as well, and the tarmac widens here anyway. And across the finish line, and that is a lap of Mount Panorama. There we have it, guys, a full on-track analysis of the Porsche Cup car around Mount Panorama for week 2 of the Porsche Cup Fixed Series. We'll continue to produce lap guides for the rest of the season, so check out more lap guides, top quality setups over at CoachDaveAcademy.com or visit their Discord. See you soon.